Just getting some things set up so I can see the chat. And so you can see the chat. Well, that'll do it. And we shall see. Okay. What are we doing today? Drum roll. This is the CR10 that we've been waiting months for. We need to find a knife. So, when CR10s got really popular there, they got down really cheap. Like, if you found the right coupon code, you could get them for like $350, something like that. Well, then you couldn't get a hold of one because everybody wanted one. So I tried to get a hold of one, and they were out. They waited like 3 weeks and then said, oh, by the way, here's your money back. We can't fulfill your order. But eventually they became in stock, and I got this one. So let's check it out. I know a lot of people say good things about the CR10. I have seen a couple of people recently say really bad things about the CR10. So we'll see what we're getting ourselves into here. So we got a box inside a box. And the ceiling camera, by the way, this box is huge, so we're just going to kind of have to work around what you can see and what you can't, because this box is really big. And it's very heavy, by the way. I think it's the heaviest printer I've experienced. Looks like there's 2 boxes in here, maybe. Well, maybe not. Let's just keep going. It's actually almost too tall for the table. Okay, so looks like I opened it upside down, even though the writing is right side up. We get a whole roll of masking tape. Another box of parts. Here is the control box. And this is the upright carriage. Ooh, they put a plug on the end. That's nice. I like that. So this one is the yellow version. I wasn't quite sure what color I was gonna get. It's actually kind of orange. When you see it on the website, it's almost kind of a gold color, but I would call it, this one at least is kind of an orange color. I don't think opening this upside down is going to cause us a lot of headache. Shouldn't be very many pieces to this. This is supposed to be pretty much assembled from what everyone says. And here's the X. So I'm guessing this is it. That is a big heated bed. That is the biggest one I've ever seen. Okay, so no, we didn't cause too many catastrophes there. Let's get this box out just for fun. So they actually put this box in upside down of this other box. This is actually a Creality CR10 box inside here. Okay. I saw no paper directions, but we have a little box to open, so we'll check it out. Flip this guy over. It has a half-size masking sheet, like right in the center. That's interesting. So Bowden extruder. Looks like the extruder arm is plastic. I don't know if that's printed or not. We'll look at that. I got some grease off of something. See what's inside here. Oh, I love the warning picture on this. I'll show that to you in a minute, but it shows a guy getting his finger stuck in between two gears. Or like his whole hand stuck in between two gears. That's awesome. All right, here's some paper. So we have a packing list, installation instructions, and there's like 4 pictures. That's my kind of installation. We will take a look at that. After sales service card. No way. You telling me they're going to try to give me service on this? Huh. 12 months limited warranty. I wonder if you could actually get a hold of Creality and say, I need a part. We'll have to investigate this later, because if they're offering service, that's amazing. You get... Doesn't say how much this is, but a fair size amount. Maybe 250 grams? I don't know. Spool holder. It is not 3D printed. Warning badge. SD card. Few T-nuts and some extruder parts. USA plug. Scraper. I always like a new scraper. It looks like a limit switch you have to put on. And some metal parts to bolt it down. Another set of cutters and some tools and some zip strips. Some more Bowden tube, which is the correct size. A new cable. And a needle. I kind of like that needle. We'll set that over there so it doesn't get jammed into my hand or something. Okay, so this is going to be the trash box. We don't need another USB cable. Hopefully everything is working correctly this morning. Let's throw that on the pile. What else? Well, I guess we start with, well, we could take our cellophane off here. Let's do that first. Looks like they put the clips, I don't like that. Looks like they put the clips around the cellophane, maybe? Nope, there we go. Oh, there's more on that's actually covering the bed. Let's take a look here. Okay. Let's take these off, just to see what's going on. So we got some glass covered in plastic. That's nice, they cover it in plastic. Keeps it nice and clean. Not sure why we get this little piece of tape sheet and a roll of tape, but all right, we'll work with it. That is definitely not going to roll like that. That's okay. So let's put this over here for a minute so I don't break it. That was loud, isn't it? Wasn't it? It went red for a minute. We don't want to break it. Okay. We can look at instructions together. So, base, Z modules. Okay, this is just telling you all the parts here. Install parts, finish. Okay, open the box. Compare to the 3 pictures. Start installing. M5 25 screws connect the base with the XZ module. 2 fixed block Z limit install on the left. Connect motor. Okay, so pretty much the only screws they're talking about are some M5 25s. There's really only one package here, so it doesn't really matter. Spare parts. They're not really spare parts. They're assembly parts. We can use our new awesome part tray here. Actually, you know what? I don't want to use that part tray because it's got other parts in it. And I might get them confused with another kit. Let's just open all this stuff up. There's not that much here. There's some tiny little micro switches. This one's missing a screw. Put that back on there. Don't tell me it has M4 and M5 T-nuts. It certainly does. That's not fun. Get a spare nozzle. That's cool. I like these thumb screws. They could be a little bigger, but I still like them. Does it have thumb screws on it? Yeah, it does. Alright. So the bed thumb screws are a lot bigger. That's not going to ride like that, but they don't mention anything about tightening anything up. That is a V channel, though. I don't like that. That would not print so good. See if we can tighten these up without stripping them out. So that wasn't really all that tight at all. Yeah. I don't like to see that right out of the box. That one is stripped. See if their wrench fits any better than my wrench. That one's good. My wrench could be the problem. You never know. Kinda doubt it, since I never use 4mm for anything. Maybe we should print with their filament today. I don't know, white benchies are kind of boring. These wrenches are pretty nice. They're actually the ball end wrenches. Now it's these screws. That screw is really stripped out. I get one spare of those, but assuming this doesn't go somewhere else. So we'll have to run with what we got here until we figure out if we actually do have some spares. That sucks. Well, that got almost all the wobble out of it, so I guess that's better than nothing. So this is the front. Right that way. The belt's tight though, right? It's tight enough to print. It might need a little bit of tightening later. Does it hit the in-stop correctly? It does. Okay, let's see what we got in here. That was some tough cellophane. I don't know why they felt the need to put cellophane on that motor. Let's just see how this is going to go. So they have attempted to cut away these little plastic covers to try to provide clearance for that motor. I don't know if it's cut away enough. So my assumption is you're just going to get these 4 black bolts and you're going to put these through the bottom with these washers. So you get 1 extra black bolt, M5 bolt. So Z goes in the back. That is 1 long lead screw. Damn, that's a long lead screw. What are the chances of a lead screw like that being that long and being straight? What do you figure? So, because I can't do anything left-handed, let's move this over here. Printer is almost too big for this table. And then we'll move this back over here. We'll have to check that other axes. That Z-washer's got some washer spacers in between it, but it doesn't look all that tight. That's strange. We'll even use their wrench. Now that we got 1 in, we can leave it like this. There we go. Now we're all set. Usually I've seen some chat by now. Is pop-out chat not working today? Or are we just lonely this morning? I'm sorry, I can't use that wrench. Not because it's a bad wrench. I've had that chat window stall out on me before and I didn't realize it. That might be the condition that it's in right now. It says we've got a few people on. So hopefully they're able to communicate if they need to. All right. So far, so good. It's sturdy. Pretty sturdy. I like it. So what side do they want the in-stop on? This side looks to be the blank side, no in-stop. Ah, T-nuts. While I'm thinking about it, before I screw anything up, where's the power switch? Alright, set to 220. I forgot that on one of these the other day. I don't remember which one it was, but luckily it had already been set for me, and I didn't blow it up. That power supply is kind of roaming around inside there. That don't look good. Okay, back to what I was doing. Yeah, this is the wrench they want you to use. A lot of these feel stripped out. Oh, they give me... No, they're not. They're different sizes. They give me a whole set. I don't think they use all the sizes in this kit. That's nice of them. I do appreciate it. These channels are much nicer quality, I can already tell you, than a lot of the ones that you see. The nuts actually spin correctly and they go from horizontal to vertical in that channel correctly as you screw them, like was intended. So that's always appreciated. And it looks like you just get, do you get any adjustment at all? No, you do not. So bed height is all the Z adjustment you're going to be able to do. But it will probably be enough. Looks like everything is already all bundled and wired, and this thing is pretty much assembled. They gave me I've seen that heat block before on a printer. But I don't remember which one. Oh well. So for some reason, I think that brings up bad memories. They gave me a couple extra pneumatic line fittings, you know, for the Bowden tube. You could not possibly fit one on that side because the lead screw's in the way. So I guess it's just a spare. I do have one extra of those M5s that we could replace that one on the bottom that's stripped. There's two on the bottom that are stripped out. But we'll work with what they gave us for now. Rolls pretty good. I like that. So I saw somebody the other day. Oh, we need to put the... While we talk about that, I'll put this on. He was really irritated by this printer. He got quite upset. And that's another thing. Why don't people on YouTube talk about watching YouTube? Because I watch it all the time. It's awesome. But anyway, I was... Oh, you get thumb screws for the spool holder. Nice. You can remove it easy. That's what those are for. I was watching this guy, and he was really mad at this printer, and he called it garbage. And I guess people got really upset because he was so hard on it, and he even made like a retraction video. He still didn't say, you know, great things about it, but he was definitely not as hard as he was on the first video. So I don't know if he was just upset or what happened, but so far this is so much, well, I mean, what do you compare it to? But it's so much better than a lot of things I've seen. I'm happy so far. We'll see. One of the big things he complained about was the piece of glass that he got, I guess, wasn't true. Had a hump in the middle, which is kind of unheard of for a piece of glass. I mean, that's kind of the point of the glass, right? I mean, it's not impossible, but to have a piece of glass that isn't true, but that's kind of why, I mean, glass is, the way they manufacture it makes it true. So that's kind of weird that he saw that. So chat's freaking me out. Let's see if it's broken. See if it comes through on the stream. It should be right, though. It should overlay. And I don't think it is. I think it's broken. So that might be the problem. Usually somebody has sent something. Oh, wait, no, it didn't come through. Usually somebody sent something to my phone by now. Let's try to restore and try it again. I don't want everybody to be left in the dark. Let's try this one. Good old YouTube. Let's try again. Yeah, it just doesn't want to show up. Okay, there we go. Now we're there. Okay, for whatever reason, chat wasn't cooperating. Now we got it. Okay. Just a quick fix, no problem. We got a lot of time today. We'll print a 12 by 12 benchy. No, we're not going to print a 12 by 12 benchy. I probably don't even have enough filament to print a 12 by 12 benchy. So, for that guy that was so irritated by this printer, I'm going to check this glass. That's as true can get. I mean, maybe on this side, maybe there's a little bit, but not enough to affect much. The bed's pretty flat. I've seen worse. So, I guess we really don't have to flip this over anymore. Looks like all the thumb screws for the bed level are as tight as they will go. So, I guess that's as good as any position to start in. Go ahead and put this on, and everything else looks like to be wiring, so we shouldn't have to move this thing around anymore. I will clean this. Guess we could just put the tape on it. I'll have to slice a file. Hopefully, Slick 3R is happy today, so that I can slice a file. Sometimes on this computer, it is not happy. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining. We're putting together a 3D printer. And you just tested chat for me. I appreciate that too. I think it was broken at the beginning. See if we can line this glass up a little bit. Okay, so this printer is definitely way too tall to run this over. I don't know that we want to run it through. Well, it's got the Bowden tube on it. We'll have to run it through. Won't we? Oh yeah, but the Bowden tube and the extruder ride on the X. I was thinking it was stationary. It's not. So they just kind of throw this over and call that good. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and plug in the tube. And let's do some wiring. Let's get this over here a little bit so that we can see it a little better. That way I can zoom in a little. Got some zip ties, got extra Bowden tube. And we'll move this guy over here. How about we do like this. And then we can do a little bit of this as we figure out where the wires go. Focus. There we go. Okay. So I'll try to keep my head out of there. We should probably move this up so that you can see it a little better. Let's move this up to here. Well, I don't know where there's a good spot for that. Let's try this for now. So we're going to be working in this area. So we have two. That's not a good noise. This bottom is very floppy. It needs another screw right there, Creality. Can you see that? Okay. It smells. Phew. It smells like it's already burned up. Anyway. So, what do they say here? So we have two, but they're pin determined. So there's a 4-pinner. So that's good. I was getting ready to say, hey, there's no pictures on the back of this to figure out where things go. But there's a yellow sticker up here. And it's a 6-pin versus it's a 8-pin versus a 4-pin. So they tell you with which one goes where by the pinout. That's good enough. I like that. I don't want to jinx it. Could be a short stream today. I don't know. Not a good sign. I tell you, it's going together too smoothly. That's the bad sign. So we got an X. This is X in stop. Where's the X in stop? There it is. And it's kind of hard to get to, man. I might be able to get that in there. I was gonna say it was a tweezer. And then X motor, I'm guessing, yes. It's probably on the bottom. Yep. Can you even see that, or is it just my head? 50-50 shot. 100% wrong. There we go. And they do have little tags on here. E motor. So extruder goes around the back. Like that. And this other bundle. Try not to get them too crossed. So this is Z and this is Y. So you won't even be able to see Y. Z is on this side, so let's go ahead and do, or let's pull it this way. Z. Well, let's do Y. So here's Y. And stop. And Y motor. And then Z. The Z and stop over here. And it's really hard to get to, so let's do the Z motor. I'll probably have to flip this up to be able to get in there. Yeah, that's a toughie. Hold that spool holder. Hopefully I don't break the spool holder when I did that. Don't like that. It's just long enough. It's going to be stretched. And my fingers are not going to be able to get in there. Let's see. Be better off plugging this in before you put it together. So far, the most challenging part. Okay, we made it. So, before we power this bad boy on, hopefully this was a spare, not something that already fell out. I want to check wrong size. I want to check these rollers because the ones for the Y carriage were very loose. This could use a little tightening. It does have a nylon nut on there. I probably shouldn't actually tighten any of this stuff up. Should probably wait until I print it first. But when you see something that obvious, I feel like you probably ought to correct it. That's it. So let's, I don't even think I need to look at it anymore. I think I can just go ahead and put it on for show. Let's do this. So we get organized here. And we'll peel the paper off, or the cellophane off the screen. That's always the best part. Let's see if it blows up when we plug it in. It does have a power switch. Not all of them do. And let's turn it on. It's got an advertisement. Ooh. Good looking screen. That's good. Everything looks good. So should we use good filament, or should we roll the dice and use the stuff they gave us? This doesn't even look like white filament. It's actually natural filament, I believe, which is kind of a clear, translucent, white looking stuff. It's like plastic garbage bag kind of color. Why not? Let's try it. It's very brittle. I can already tell it's going to be a pain in the ass to load the filament. Let's try to disable the steppers. Oh, it's got that awesome beep sound. The click knob is actually going in the right direction. I like that. There we go. Well, it feels like it made it the whole way. Let's use their tape sheet. Oh, it's 2 tape sheets. They're just stuck together. So is 2 enough to get the whole printer done? Yeah, I'd say so. All right. So since there's 2, why not put them both on? Yeah, I guess we could leave it here so you can see that. I guess that is kind of the point. So let's see, do they fit better? This should be like a 12 by 12 or 300 millimeters, something like that. So they should fit equally. We're good. If you've ever seen live streams with me before, you know that sticking things down is not my expertise. tape shouldn't be so bad. It is some sticky tape. Damn. As long as there isn't a gap in the middle, you should be okay. It's sticky, but it's thin. And it's nowhere close to straight. But I don't want to do it over, because it won't make it past 2 or 3 prints anyway. It will be straight to glue stick. If you keep the glass bed. As long as there isn't a giant gap, we'll be all right. Nope. Oh, not yet. You bastard. I hate tape. I hate it. It prints pretty well. That's the problem. It's hard getting away from tape because it's really a nice surface to print on. But it's such a pain to deal with. You almost have to pull it off every time you print. And it wrinkles up, and it's never smooth, and I'm way too impatient to deal with it. Hopefully we can get the benchy right there. Speaking of benchies, I don't know how well you can see this, especially in the small view, but we now have a benchy shelf where all of my famous benchies are going. We'll switch back to main view and then you can see it a little better. Alright, so we're going to deal with that horrible tape job that I just did. Okay. Let's preheat. See if it'll actually heat up. So they're doing, on their preheat, they're doing 185. And it looks like the bed temp is set to 0. So we don't want that. I guess we will just see, well, temperature. Bed is at 0. Let's torque it up to 55. See if we can blow the power supply up. Is the heat right? So the extruder heat is rising. That's good. Now, is the bed heat going to rise? It made it to 25. Let's see. 26. Okay, I have faith that we have thermistors that work and heaters that work at the moment. Let's see if it will auto home. We might be getting way ahead of ourselves here if it will not. Oh, there goes X. How about Y? All right. Come on, Z. It moves Z a little, but I don't think it homed it. Let's see if Z will move. I can smell things heating up. Oh, Z does move. Let's let it run up a little to make sure. So this has one Z-rod on the right-hand side. I've been a little critical in the past of that model but mostly when they're upside down. I don't like it when they're upside down. This one is the correct direction, and the frame is very stiff, so you're not going to have a ton of play on this side just because you have one rod, but that will be seen in the testing. We'll see how that affects it as we test. Let's move this back a little. All right, now let's try it at home now that we can actually see the Z move a little. I want to make sure that micro switch is working. And it sounds clicky. Okay, so the extruder is up to temp. The bed is almost up to temp. That's good. Let's disable the steppers one more time so that we can try to level it out. Leveling a bed this big can be challenging, to say the least. Where is our post-it? Challenging, to say the least. Okay. So it's way too high, but that's what we expected. The thumb screws are actually compressing the springs as far as they can go to give you as much headroom for adjustment. So hopefully we settle at a nice midpoint here and there's nothing out of whack. Because the Z end stop is not adjustable. So this is all the play we have. That's pretty good, but it's going to change a lot as we go around the house here. That one is tight. You do get a part cooling fan. It's one of those little half blower types, which are not the... It is, when you kick on PLA, it does start that fan, so the fan works. They're not the most reliable type of fan, but they work. This one seems to be not getting the movement that it should. I wonder if the top of that screw is spinning. Oh, wait, now it's moving. Okay. All right, let's check this side again. With it that far off, you pretty much have to do it twice. There's really no getting around it. See, it's kind of a teeter-totter effect. I probably say that every time, but just in case somebody didn't know. Go with that. Go with that. That'll work. There's a lot of people that use an actual feeler gauge for this. And I'm not against that at all. Problem is I would probably lose track of where the feeler gauge was and end up using a post-it anyway. So I'll just start with that. Now, how's the center? I would say the center is just a little tighter than the sum of its parts. It would probably print like that, but it's going to be stuck as hell. Maybe we should adjust it just a little bit more. What else we got to do? So we'll lighten up on the corners a little bit to see if we can get the center lightened up a little bit. Let's try that. Probably a little too much. Now we're just going to do stuff on the fly here. That's an eighth of a turn, right? Sure it was. That'll work. All right, now we need some G-code. Let's see what's on this SD card. Do you want to see what's on the SD card? Why not? So we have a G-code file. I have no idea what that is, but I'm not even going to look. Operating instruction, USB driver, and software installation. You get Repetier host and Cura. Reference data. Oh, pictures. Ooh, machine settings. Okay. Cura settings, okay. Model. You get a cat model. I know that's the cat holding the sign or whatever. Wire protection. Oh, they give you little restraint brackets you can print, I guess. STL file. Batman. A Bitcoin. Ooh. Install base. Oh, so what are they telling me that I can 3D print those parts? We'll have to look at those later. Those are STL files for printed parts, though. And printing? Those are PDFs and problems and solutions. It's pretty much the same. I give you like some light information there. Okay. Yes, close them all. Okay, so nothing real awesome on the card. Let's. Oh, and Slicer's going to be a total pain. Yeah, that's true. I have faith in 3M and their consistency and their Post-its, right? Come on, Slicer. Don't be a pain today. It's something to do with Slick 3R and Intel video drivers. I don't know why, but it doesn't like them. It doesn't like them some days. Other days it's fine. and you can update them and do all kinds of stuff, and it still returns back to where it was before. So this is a good opportunity. We got time here. Here's how I make a printer profile for testing. So this is the original Prusa i3 MK2, and I use that as my base, and I set the bed, which this is what, 300, 300? There's the bed size. That's what will, where's the extruder at on this thing? And you're gonna hit a clip. It's pretty close to dead corner, so we'll leave that there, and that's where this is. So this is what, if you wanted to offset and try to get into the middle of the bed, this is where you'd try to adjust the origin and offset it. That's fine. This is for Octoprint. We don't have Octoprint for this printer yet. Custom G-code. This is pretty much what you want to get rid of because Prusa uses some magic, and you're not going to have any of that on anything besides a Prusa. Regular G28 will be fine. This is where you wait for bed. Relative extruder mode is fine. All we need is a home button there, so that's good. You can take your weight out. Some printers don't like that G4 command, depending on what kind of firmware you use. Turn the fan off. This will take it to 200. This is a big printer, so let's take it to 275. I don't want to crash into the in-stop, but I would like the bed to come out when the print is finished. And then disable motors, that's good. So extruder 1, I'm guessing this is a 4mm nozzle. Layer height limits, that'll work. I always start with retraction rates for the Prusa because it is a direct drive printer, but this really isn't doing you guys any good watching the table, is it? How about that? So the Prusa is a direct drive printer, and it's not going to be as susceptible to retraction errors which will create stringing and things like that, blobbing, as a Bowden style would, like this one. So it's going to be the filament moving down that tube is going to cause initial retraction issues. But I still like to start with the Prusa and then work my way up. This is a little low for a printer like this, but it's still a good spot to start at. So we're going with that. And we'll just save that as CR10. All right, filament settings. I go with Prusa. He does 215, 210 for PLA. If you heated bed at 55, you can take a look at its automated cooling. There's no custom G-code for any of his stuff on the filament settings. So we're just going with standard Prusa. And then actual print settings, I pretty much use standard Prusa. I used 0.2, 200 micron layer heights, solid and top layers 6 and 5, and then perimeters. That's usually set to 3, I believe. Maybe Prusa, this is a new version of Slick 3R, maybe Prusa changed that to 2. So we'll go with whatever he says. So that's good. Let's go back to the platter. Now that I've bored you all with slicer settings. That should put the Benchy in a really crazy location because we just upped the size to huge, and slicers being a pain again. Installed out. It'll catch up in a second. Maybe. It's just on the preview too. If you switch to 2D, it'll straighten up, but then you can't see anything. See? Okay. Catch up. That's 150, 150. That's not going to do us any good. See what happens when we slice it. But preview mode works. Kind of ridiculous. That looks like a benchy to me. And that looks like a 300mm bed. There should be 30 of those, right? Those are 1mm or 10mm squares. Export G-code to that drive. We will use its own drive. Its own SD card. Exported, done. Okay, back to printer stuff. Now, where's the SD slot? So the SD slot, that's interesting. It gives you, instead of a full-size USB, there's a, what's the next size down? A mini or a micro? It's not the one for the cell phone, it's the next size up. So I think that's called a mini. That's the SD card slot and the USB slot. So it's not the AB type cable. Does it go in like this, or I bet you it goes upside down? Because my guess is the board is probably setting flipped on top of that thing. That's why it's located like that. So it goes in upside down. And no card. So initialize SD card. Print from SD. Benchy. So how we set up here? Let's get it a little closer while it prints. This is a big printer. Try to line that filament up as best I can. Kind of a cute little roll. Use it as a bearing. Now it's twisted though. That is some really twisty filament. It might break. The twistier it gets, the more chances are of it breaking. Okay, let's see if it prints. I did manage, it looks like, to get it into... We didn't test extrusion, so maybe we'll just get lucky and it will extrude. Can't think of everything. I don't see anything yet. That white's going to be hard to see anyway. It appears to be working. It'll be a moment before we can see anything. I need like a cam that you can put down at this level height. I think it's going to do it. It appears to be extruding. Man, it's got a wicked odor while it's running. Man, that'll give you a headache quick. That's just the new burning off. It's that new printer smell. It's all the rage. How do you untwist this thing? There you go, that's better. It's too close to the printer, man. There you go. Actually, it would be better upside down, wouldn't it? Now it's probably really twisted. Okay, now I'm happy with that. I'll stop messing with it. we are going to get a really plain white benchy. It's not going to be very exciting. We got that thing printing in under an hour, though. That's pretty impressive. I like that. So, the instructions weren't awesome, but they do give you some pictures. My guarantee sticker. So that's a good question. They gave me a cable. Is that a regular to mini cable? It is. See what I'm talking about? This is the first one I've seen with this end on it. It's usually the B end. It's kind of it's a square with two flat spots on it. That's a little different. I don't know how the focus on this thing looks. Hard to tell. About as good as it's going to get. Not a whole lot of action on the stream this morning. Everybody's sleeping in. I like my new scraper. And my new clippers. Throw this Bowden tube on the pile. I always like to have a little extra. God, I gotta clean the table up. It's exploding. Oh well. It's printing away. The cooling fan is on. So it's looking good. This one we're gonna have to print really big. I mean, this thing's tall. 400 vertical. We could look at the specs. CR10s are pretty popular though. Anybody watching a printing live stream has probably already seen it a million times. Does it show anything cool? Not really. 150 millimeters a second print speed. That's not happening. I mean, I guess it could do it, but you don't want to do that. Offline printing SD card comes with Cura, unassembled packing. 300, 300, 400. It says it's a high accuracy machine, but they pretty much all say that. Oh yeah, nothing awesome to share there. It's working. What else? This hang printer is driving me crazy. I'm running out of places to put things. There's no good spots. Guess we'll just keep stacking stuff. See if we can get down on level, just for fun. I think we've done this before. Video is just really bad when it's that close. About as good as we're going to get. I guess I just need to clean up. I got these spool holders. Thinking about putting them right here. Just for hanging stuff. Really don't need to pull filament off of it. It'd be nice to just store it and be able to see what you had. I don't know if I have a bin for wood screws. Maybe somewhere. We'll call this the wood screw bin now. I guess those are technically sheet metal screws, but screws in a pinch. Just so much stuff, guys. So much stuff. I forgot to mention in this live stream, this is the first printer I have received for no cost. GearBest said, hey, you want to see our 10? And I said, sure. And they sent it to me. So that's kind of a game changer. But, so we could talk about all kinds of, you know, things about affiliate programs and how people might be abusing them and things like that. But I can assure you, even though this printer was free, I'm not going to take it any easier on this one than I would on any other one. If they gave me a Tronc CX1 for free, I can tell you that the outcome will be the same if I had to put up with that thing. So the review will reflect what I had to put up with. So don't worry about that. I might only get one free printer from GearBest after this review. I don't know. It seems like a good machine, though. Maybe everything will go good. But if that's my last free one, that's my last free one. That's okay. But at least we got one free one, right? Yeah, it's real quiet. Even like the fans on the back, sometimes these are really noisy. It sounds like they use ball bearing fans or something because they're quiet. This would definitely be so that's a good point because that's a good combination to have. This is a large scale printer. You're going to be able to print stuff this tall, this wide, and it's going to run for hours and hours and hours and hours. So having it be quiet, big plus. Because if you're trying to sleep with this thing going, which I mean, that printer could print big enough to go, a 3-day print or something like that. So that's a good thing to have. I've only seen a couple of bad things about the CR10, and that those might have just been because of the printer that they received. It's going to happen. But most reviews appear to be good, and it's around. If you want to go buy one, it's right around $400 most of the time, depending on what sale you can find. I'm guessing I received one. I received this one last week sometime, so I'm guessing that the inventory is back. They now have them again, so you can get them on flash sale for $380, something like that. I don't know what I just dropped, but oh well. So for the money, from what I've seen from this thing so far, if you need a big build volume, looks to be a good choice. But only time will tell. I've got to get some of these hang printer parts out of here. Yeah. Freebies are good. I don't, there's a lot of talk about the affiliate programs, and it appears maybe some people are doing the affiliate programs they're buying a good review. Okay, here's some free stuff, and so, but we urge you to give it a good review since we gave it to you for free. And cherry picking, right? So if they contact you and say, hey, you want a free printer for a review, they're going to go find the best one that they can on the shelf and make sure that it's a good one to give you so that you'll give them a good review. I don't think that's what's happening here with GearBest at all. Or they would have given me one with tight y-axis bolts, just to prove a point. But I think it does happen. But you don't want, as a consumer, and you're on YouTube looking for reviews, should I buy this printer or not, don't just go to one. Don't go to just the big couple of guys that do 3D printer reviews either. Look at the guys that only have so many views because they bought this thing, and it's gonna be a lot more honest of a review. So just compare them. Out of what I've seen on reviews for the CR10, this is par for the course. Everybody's kind of had the same experience so far that we're seeing here today. But again, hundreds of hours of print time will tell the truth. So that's just my thoughts on the whole. If somebody's accusing you of, trying to get money off affiliate links and stuff, sure, it's nice to be able to pay for your time and all the stuff you have to buy for your content. That would be the main goal, right? Just getting enough money to pay for what you put on YouTube. But I'm not doing this to fund myself to make a living. Of course, I mean this channel doesn't even have 100 subscribers yet, so it's just for fun. It's just for fun. I'm not making a living off any of this. So much fishing line. This can go in the scraps bin. Got to clean up on Sunday so we can prepare for another week of making videos. We should have a few videos. I don't know about a few, but I should have some content to put out for next week. This one will take some time because those are going to be some long prints. So the CR10 might not be out until a couple weeks from now. It's coming along nicely. Finish looks real good. Infill looks pretty good. It's not as neatly stacked as I've seen in the past, but good enough. That is triangular mesh leveling. It's super sturdy, or leveling. Infill. It's super sturdy, but sometimes the printers have a hard time stacking it. Rectilinear seems to be much easier on the printer. It's also quite a bit faster, but again, that's the Prusa defaults. These are spare parts for something. Not sure what. Where'd that rubber band go? Oh well. Go on now. It's almost coffee time. We're gonna say scrap spin for this one. I could probably give up this much spiral wrap, but I always hang on to it. This is like a 25. There we go. Everything's still printing well? Good. I realize I'm not being that entertaining, but hey, at least you got a printer to watch print, right? What if it blows up? And you'll be here for that. I don't think it'll blow up. But it could. I guess we'll put these in the servo pouch. What else we got going today? Anything fun? I got nothing. Probably going to work on this 3D printer, and then work on another 3D printer. tools everywhere. Man. Okay. I think it's time for some coffee or a drink or something. Maybe some water. So you watch it print. I'll be right back. Okay. What'd I miss? It's sticking. We're about done with the bow, I think. Oh, we're doing the top level of the bow. Cool. Let's get this out of the way. I was hoping Carl would jump on at some point. I want to hear about his CR10 debacle. We'll see. The day is still young. How long have we been going now, anyway? Hour and 45 minutes? Not bad. So I guess it's back to working on the hang printer. I've been probably driving that Tourbillon. I've been probably driving him crazy with all these questions, whatever. I screwed some stuff up on the hang printer build video, and I put a comment in there that says, "Hey, I screwed this up," but the problem is the way Tourbillon says that I need to fix it is flipping the D gear over, and I'll show you if I can ever get this cleaned up and get it over there. Flipping the D gear over. The problem is when I flip the D gear over, it doesn't fit anymore. So that's not good. The way I put it together, I had it printing. I mean, it printed just fine. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say just fine, but it printed. And he says, no, you need to turn, when I added that worm gear, you should turn the D over. And doesn't work on mine. And at first, I thought it was because I used ABS. And ABS, the frame did shrink like an inch. PLA versus ABS. But then I had a PLA frame, which is what I'm trying to work on now. Still doesn't fit. So I don't know what's going on. I do appreciate all of Tourbillon. I do appreciate Tourbillon taking all of my questions because I have asked a ton of them. So, thanks for that.
And my glue. Glue can go up there. Okay, much better. I'm much happier with this. I have some spots to put things on my table now. You can probably see in my videos, if you pay attention in my videos, you can tell how many different things I'm working on by how full the table gets. What we got going on here? We are okay. So yeah, I don't know what the hell to do about this. I've tried different motors. I've tried different gears. This gear's crap. I'm trashing this one. I don't know what the hell to do with this thing. I don't know. Well, now that gear doesn't seem to fit at all. I don't think that's going to do it either. This thing's been quite frustrating. But the CR10's cranking away. Oh, I can't use this gear. There's the nut slipping inside it. I forgot. That's why I didn't use this. So this one is also trash. You know what? I'm going to sacrifice the hardware in here and just throw it away. In fact, I'm not even going to recycle it. I'm just going to throw it away. So this is an ABS gear. It looks like crap. This is also an ABS gear and it looks like crap. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining the live stream. We have the CR10 printing. Waiting on our first benchy. While I wait, I'm complaining about the hang printer. Not much. You didn't miss a whole lot. It was a pretty easy build. Just a couple of screws, plugged it in. I think it took right at an hour to build. And we're just kind of waiting to see what the benchy looks like. So far, so good. We're using the filament that came with the CR10 just to see what it looks like. But yeah, everything's looking good. So far, I like CR10 looks like a good machine. Probably really loud, sorry about that. And this one's also going in the trash. What am I left with? Do I have any more worm gears? I thought I had a PET one around here somewhere. Not sure I did. This is the PLA one. I don't know where it went. Well, I guess that's the only one I got then. Okay, we'll work with this one. Different a broken frame. So A6 is acrylic frame, right? Did just like one of the pieces come broken, come cracked or something like that? Oh, got it used. Well, at least you'll still have all of the solid parts you need. All the motors and the main board and everything like that. You still turn it into something. That's good. You got your tarantula, so you can use that to mod it. Cool. Keep us updated how that goes. Well, that's a great question. Not much, basically. I print on a few of them. But most of them are just... most of the ones I buy are just because I want to see... You know, printers kind of like... Some of these printers, to me, a little bit, are like a jigsaw puzzle. So you put it together and you see what it does, and then I kind of lose interest. So yeah, not much. I use the Prusa a lot. This one might be a good candidate though to use it because it's going to be a very large volume printer. So it might come in handy. But stuff like the A2 and the A8 and stuff, I just don't bother with it for the most part. No, I won't keep them all. I'm trying to work out something currently right now to give some of them away. And it might work out that I can actually give my subscribers a chance to get one or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work yet, but stay tuned. Might be able to figure something out where I can. All of you can help me by taking one of my printers off my hands, and I can help you by getting another 3D printer. We'll see how that goes. The hard part about giveaways is I don't want to do giveaways on YouTube. I want to do giveaways for my subscribers. So I want it to be a reward for being a subscriber, not a mechanism to gain subscribers. That's not the point. And they make that hard to do. So I'm figuring it out, and maybe we can, no promises or anything like that, but maybe we can figure it out and other people can benefit from this stuff too. That would be nice. What I am doing is trying to get some of the elephant foot off of this gear, so hopefully it will fit. There's not really a ton on there, but I guess if there was a little all the way around, it would be enough to affect it. But we'll try. So I'm out of ideas other than that. Hey, there you go. You know, I have mentioned Hypercube before. That might be a real possibility. I've got some projects in flight, but maybe in the next coming months we can look at that, building a Hypercube. I think it would be a really, really long live stream, but maybe we could do it a live stream. I don't know. I've looked at it. I've looked at the Hypercube a couple of times, and I've watched the guy that actually put it together. I've watched his videos before on it, and it looks pretty straightforward, but you know, during a live stream things can get kind of crazy, so we'll see. It's a good idea though. I've thought about that. I think that's a good project. think I've made it all the way around. All of the gear teeth look thoroughly gouged. That's a good point too. I mean, that you bring that up, because I'm always up for project ideas. So if anybody thinks of anything, run it past me. See if we can get it done. Oh, cool. I'll have to look around for that and see if I can find it. That's too darn tight. Something about PLA, man, it is hard. I'm gonna strip the head of that screw out if I'm not careful. Let's see if that fits on there. gonna say no. Yeah, it's way too tight. I don't know what we're gonna do on this one. Well, now it's unhooked. Never mind. I had hope there for a second. You might be able to print with that. Maybe. If I can get just a little bit more play out of that. I don't know. I think it's still way too tight. I need to turn the prusa on. We'll print yet another gear and see if we can get this thing to work. Yet another gear. How are we doing? We on the wheelhouse now? Man, that Benji looks good. Just starting the wheelhouse stuff. You can see retraction, but that's not a surprise. You can see retraction issues. Not a surprise with these settings, because again, as I explained, it's set up for a direct drive. Find some screws for these spool holders. I think they would be handy. I do. Where's the drill? Of course, one fell out. Look at that. Where's that green stuff? Is that big enough for... No, it's not. There is one, though, that is... Not, I thought it was that one. Maker Geeks, maybe? Yeah, there you go. So I made a couple different sizes of these. Did that actually just fall behind there? I didn't think that was possible. That one, okay, that's fine. But now I can see it without having to dig through piles of stuff. Don't think that one was the right size either. Nope. Got some inland stuff. I'd like to find a home for that one and that one. I'm gonna have to print another small one. Got one. Maybe that's a job for the CR10. See if it can print about 5 of these holders for us. That'll work. Something to get it out of the way. Thought I had another giant spool somewhere that I was going to hang up there. Oh well. So look, I did a little cleanup today. Looks better. I'm proud of myself. I need a 3D printed drill holder. Put that on like the edge of the table or something. Come on. Screw's a little bit too small for that bit. Never back that one out. What do we have that'll fit in there? It's kind of small. Sharpie? No. These pliers? Yes, they will fit in there. These tweezers, they will fit in there. This file. Cool. But these pliers? Not really. That'll work. These actually fit in there really nicely. I wonder if that's what those were made for. That sucks. Need a little bigger tool tray. But it's a start. There's that gear I was looking for. Bet you don't look too bad. Check this print over here real quick. I have no clue, man. We'll think of something. We will think of something. We'll get creative. We gotta start a manufacturing business. We'll just line them all up in a warehouse somewhere and start printing out things. It is, I have to admit, it is beginning to come to be somewhat of a problem. I'm gonna have to build a shelf or something, or clear out one of these and start stacking printers back in there. I got too many just sitting around. Yeah. I'm constantly trying to think of ideas, you know, for what could we do? What could we manufacture? What could we do with these things? It'd be really neat. Like, I watched that Prusa, you know, all the content that Prusa puts on YouTube. I watch all of it, and he's got like 140 employees right now. And he's got, I don't know, at least 150 print farm that prints 24 hours a day, printing the parts for his machines. It'd be so cool to do something like that. I just don't know what you'd do. I mean, we could make our own 3D printer kit, but everybody does that, right? And we definitely couldn't make it as cheap as like this machine is. I would actually like to receive a machine sometime soon that was ready to go. Meaning, I'm fine with like the assembly on this thing. It was 4 bolts, no big deal. I put some wires on it, no problem. I'm fine with that, but I would like to receive a machine that I didn't have to actually tighten something up or make even a slight repair. Like on this one, I had to tighten 6 bolts. That's not a big deal, but it'd be nice to see one that actually showed up as intended without any repair. I'll be anxious to see what the next machine is that rolls in here that actually has that feature. Yeah. The part with the printing a 3D printer, I have a hard time, since I see so many of these machines, well, not tons, you know, I have a few of these machines. It's hard for me to get out of the mindset of how these actually work. So thinking outside the box, like the hang printer, like that guy did, is hard for me because it's like, oh yeah, well this is what a 3D printer looks like. So I really need to think about it. Well, what could we do? You know, what could we do different? It'd be really cool if you could do something from scratch and change the market a little, you know. I'm surprised these yellow parts are injection molded, and like this one. I'm surprised those are injection molded. I would have assumed that those would have been 3D printed parts. They are not. Yeah, I think we're starting to see enough of this stuff now that you can sniff out the good and the bad pretty quick. I don't know, I'm kind of excited to see what comes next, though. I'm not even sure what people are going to do now. The large-scale ones have been kind of a game changer, especially at this price point. You've always been able to get, like, what's that huge one? I think it's called a Z-Max, something like that. You've always been able to get, like, machines like that, but they're, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. When you can get one of these for $400 and you can print something that tall, that's awesome. And not that you'd want to print that tall all the time, but it would be nice. I mean, you can print a whole human head. This is kind of these types of machines have definitely changed the market a little bit. So we'll see what's next. What's going to be the next trend? You know, I thought there's a concept for Core XY. And really, Core XY is pretty much the same thing, only it's a really long belt. So they use, it's hard to explain, but they use, I'm trying to even think now. I think it's just, most of the time, it's just one motor that are moving axes with this really long belt. And supposedly, I had to find a picture of it to be able to explain it. Supposedly the accuracy is better But with a long belt like that, I would think challenges would arise. But I thought that was going to be the next trend. And you're going to see a lot of that Core XY, a lot of those Core XY machines come up. But not really. I mean, not as many as I thought there was going to be. There are a few out there, but... This one went really nice, though. No major issues at all. I am kind of anxious to open that box up and see what's inside it. I want to see what the main board looks like. Big thanks for the connectors that they use. That makes life so much easier. Instead of just having the wires go straight in and having to deal with all that, at least you can disconnect the two main loops. And the in-stock wires and the motor wires still have, they still go in directly. There's no plug on those, but every little bit helps, right? You want to look at the CR10 versus the E10? I know. Torbjorn, we've been going back and forth. Torbjorn is the guy that developed this hanging printer. We've been going back and forth a lot, and he's one smart guy. He really is. This hang printer is amazing. Yeah, and I mean, just think of it. It's just one thought away. I mean, he said this just came to him. They were building printers or whatever, and he said, hey, somebody said, let's hang it from the ceiling instead of putting it in this frame, and there you go. There's the idea. So just one idea away from coming up with the next big thing. So, this is what everybody says. We saw this a couple of weeks ago. But the interwebs is all about, oh, this is the CR10 killer. Because this was ANET's answer for the CR10. That you can clearly see here, just for a moment. You can clearly see the differences in the size. And really, if you want to go for the review, this is not a review of this printer yet. Well, that's coming later. But if you want to go for large printing, you just in the way you look at how they're set up and the differences. If you want to go print something large, this one's less than 400. This one's right at 300. So if you want to go big, this is 300, 300, 400. This one is 220, 260, 300, something like that. You might as well go with the CR10, really. And spend the little extra money. Find a coupon code somewhere. You could probably get it real close to what this one would cost. And it's just the difference between the two. This one had a few issues. The This one is yet to be seen, but just looking at them closely and the choices that they make, I think the CR10 is going to take this one. So that's just a quick look, but I think this is definitely going to be a shootout opportunity here. We'll see if that comes in the future. Let's go back to benchy mode. Definitely got some retraction going on there. That's a long Bowden tube, but I'm sure that's the correct size because that thing's got to travel a long way. So you're going to need a long tube. The longer the tube, the more issues you're going to see. But I did verify it is the correct size tube, so that shouldn't be an issue. We'll just have to deal with it in slicer settings. Not a problem. The problem is adding the retraction settings in the slicer makes the print slower, because it's got to take the time to reel it back so far and then reel it forward again. But this is a large scale printer, so you're going to wait a long time anyway. Yep, Hart cooling fan's pretty small. It's not going to introduce a whole lot of air, but it should be just fine for that bridge. There it is. It looks good too. says an hour and 37 minutes is how far it's gone. Does not appear to have a percentage. Yeah, kind of quiet today. Oh, it's been a long week. It doesn't look like there's going to be any major mechanical issues, though, that I have to clean up. I think we can adjust the slicer a little bit, go right into printing. So I'm glad for that. It wasn't like the last one that we did. Was that the last one? Yeah, I think it was. That was a nightmare. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. Retraction's a little crappy, but that's to be expected. The bow and everything though looks nice and smooth. The layers are stacked pretty well. The bridges look real good. Still not tired of watching them print yet. I'm still amazed. Amazed this stuff works at all. Get our thumbnail pick ready to go. Yeah, it's hard not to just you get down like that and you start watching it, and then you come back and you keep checking it, and then you realize that, man, my knees are really sore. It's because you've been hunched down looking at these prints for hours on end.
It's getting close. Should be the last pass on the roof. Maybe one more actually. There it goes. It's looking good. Hard decision in between the CR10 and the MK2. Oh man. I guess ask yourself,
What do you want to print? Is there something that you really want to print that's over 250 in size? If there is, this would be your machine. But if you can live with that 250 by 210 by 200, something like that, 220 maybe, I don't remember. If you can live with that build volume, you can't beat Prusa. Let's let that cool for a moment. I want like 5 Prusa machines. Like, I just want to see them all going at the same time. You know, doing their auto leveling thing. That'd be so cool. Yes. For this price, this build volume, especially all the sales they do, but like, you know, $380, $390. I don't think so far. You know, I've only had it operating for 2 hours now, but so far, I don't think you can beat it for the money. So that benchy took right about an hour and 57 minutes. Let's use our new scraper. Tape, you usually can't slam them off without ripping the tape. Yeah. That really only works on glue. Well, some of the other, like PEI sheets and stuff, that works. But tape, you just rip the tape. Because it's tape. And it's a pain. See? Nice rip. Had the bed height a little high. I might be able to still print on that. That would be awesome. Wonder who I have to know to get invited to Prusa's farm. First, I'd have to make it to the Czech Republic. CR10. Number 1. All right, let's look at it. Let's see if we can get it in here and get it focused. Focus is the hard part. Where is it? That looks pretty good. Okay. So, the bow, I mean, it's pretty nice. There's a few layers that aren't quite matched up. I don't know if you can see that in there. They're not quite matched up. But, like, there's a run right there where the hole is. So it's not terrible. That might be caused by maybe there's a little slop in the Z-axis. Maybe those wheels need to be tightened up on the Z extrusion. So probably not a huge issue. Again, like there's some missed layers. They're not missed layers, but they're just a little bit off, not stacked perfect on the bottom down here. That also might be caused because I had there's some elephant foot on it where I had the bed a little bit too close. Of course, you can't read the back, but you probably won't be able to read the back at 0.2 millimeter on any printer. And then retraction issues. So this is just par for the course. You're going to see retraction like this on Bowden machines when you use settings like I do for the Prusa. And again, I use default settings like that so that I can keep track of how these things are printed. I print one with those settings and then I move from there. So I know that all my benchies are the same. And then I'll make notes about the changes that I make. So out of the box, a quick setup, quick install. All the holes are nice and round.
So that's good. The chimney isn't all melty, which you see that a lot. So the part cooling fan is doing its job. Looks pretty accurate for benchies. So not bad out of the box, not bad. This one, yeah, just stringing pretty much is the big day. That's the big issue of the day for this guy, but that's a Bowden setup for you, you know. Plus this filament is probably not the best quality filament in the whole world, and I print pretty hot. Prusa does 215. His filament prints a little hotter, but so you could lower your temp, but I think a retraction setting would be good. So this benchy will go on the benchy shelf for reference. And that's pretty much it. That is the CR10 for the day. Kind of a slow stream, but we did it. 3 hours and some change, not too bad. So we'll put this machine through its paces. Let's flip back for a second. Yeah, there we go. So we'll put this machine through its paces this week, as we always do. We'll print a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be a while because we're going to print some big stuff. In fact, I probably ought to go get some more filament. But we're going to go big, and we'll see if we can make this one crash or if it'll stand up to it. So thanks everybody for hanging out and providing your content. I always appreciate that. Yeah, I would not blame you. Another Prusa. I would love to have a pair and just watch them work. So that's a good deal this week. Anybody that is watching or is going to watch this live stream, Prusa, free shipping. So that's pretty much 10% off. That's $70 to the US, and they're only $700 for the kit. So he's doing that for this weekend only. So if you want to get a Prusa, they have them in stock. You don't have to wait the 7 and 8 weeks like a lot of us did. So just a plug for him. He doesn't pay me any money, but it's a great printer. So there you go. There's Prusa's free airtime on this stream. But again, thanks everybody. I appreciate you hanging out. Just a casual Sunday 3D printer build. So I'll see you all soon.